Hello, everybody. Welcome to June's Leadership Live. Can everyone hear me? Sweet.
Yeah.
So wait. All right, we got some people coming in. Dr. Edward Farrar is just joining us right now. So we'll get started here right at 10 o'clock. Scott will be proud of me. So going into Leadership Live, thank you guys for joining June's Leadership Live. We always start with our why, which our why is already there. But yeah, we're going to do a little giveaway. Whoever wants to read our why out loud and unmute, we have a Walmart gift card. If anyone wants to participate and unmute themselves, we can give them a Walmart gift card. No takers? Any takers? Anybody want a Walmart gift card?
I'll do it.
There we go.
To multiply the blessings and opportunities that have been placed into our trust.
Oh, thank you, Dave. You just got yourself all the gift cards. That easy. Thank you so much. But yeah, we always start with our why, and like David said, to multiply our blessings, opportunities have been put up our trust. So thank you so much for participating, Dave. As I said, we're going over our Q2 and wrapping that up with our theme, building high performance teams. And for that one, we'll have our setup is Dr. Kendra Scott. She's no stranger to our leadership lives, and she's joined us back. If you guys were here in our old office, she was actually in person live at the Thunderdome, and so that was back in December of 2022. And Dr. Kendra Scott serves as a sport manager program coordinator at Fayetteville State University. She worked with Campbell in the student athletic support, where she helps Campbell students, athletes achieve success in the classroom. And she completed her Master's of Art in Sports Administration from the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. So go Tar Heels. I'm not into Tar Heels or Blue Devils, so yay. And she's earned her Doctor of Education in Global Sports Leadership from East Tennessee State University. So Dr. Hancock, the floor is yours.
Perfect. Thank you. If you just want to progress to what we're going to be talking about today. Thank you for the introduction, Antonio. I am excited to be with you all today and talk about team recognition and motivation. I've worked with a lot of teams throughout the years, and I think it's important to build a positive culture in the workplace and outside of the workplace, personally and professionally. So having a positive environment to surround yourself in. So we'll get started now. You can go on to the next slide. There we go. Every morning we have two choices. You can continue to sleep with your dreams, or you can wake up and chase them. Carmelo Anthony, a basketball player, who said that. And so I think it's very important to make the right decision from the very beginning. We have a ton of decisions to make each morning when we wake up. Are we going to have a good day? Are we going to have a mediocre day? Are we going to have a bad day? Every decision can impact our attitude, and the motivation that we have is our willingness to achieve our organizational goals, our motivation to get things done, our motivation to complete tasks. Throughout the motivation process, we go from the need to motive to behavior, and we can either be satisfied or dissatisfied in our choices that we make each and every day. And so for me, it's easier to choose to be positive and to have a healthier and happier life. But I know bad things happen, and sometimes we have negative moments, but don't let that negative moment affect your whole day. You can go on. So how do our actions impact other people? So the way that we carry ourselves and the way that we believe and others believe in us affect others' actions toward us. And it's the Pygmalion effect, and then their beliefs about our beliefs about ourselves. So it's just a matter of, like, if we walk into the workplace with a positive environment, we have a smile on our face, we're willing to participate and engage in team environment, in projects, you're just going to have an overall better team culture and workplace culture. So continue to know that the expectations of how you treat people affect their motivation and their performance. That can happen in the workplace. That can happen on a sports team, if you're playing in a rec league, whatever it may be. And if we set high expectations for ourselves and our staff, and we treat people as high achievers, we're going to get their very best. So we want to be able to create and encourage this workplace culture where we're encouraging our peers, our team members, our superiors, and anyone that may be below us. And we want to encourage growth throughout the process as well. You can go on to the next slide, Antonio. Thank you. Okay, so I want you guys to give me a little bit of interaction here. So what types of goals are we setting? Maybe professionally professionally or personally? What are some of your goals currently, and what motivates you to accomplish those goals? Or you can answer the third question too. What would you like to see as appreciation for your work? So you have one of three questions on the screen to offer feedback. Who wants to answer?
For me, I'll tackle this third question here. I would just say like a verbal recognition goes a long way for me personally. Like I like hearing that Mark has positively affected my team, and yeah, it just helps with morale as well.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing.
For me, for me, what motivates me to accomplish my goals is to have my team stay in the good standing that they're in, to not have them be seen as like slackers or anything like that. So kind of just stay on track with everyone else.
Thank you, Kellen.
I'm setting some goals for, like automation and things that will hopefully help my team make their lives a little easier, which hopefully will keep them motivated and show them appreciation for working towards things that will make their lives easier.
Very good. Thank you, Kelly. Would anyone else like to share on one of the three questions? Well, I appreciate you guys jumping in and getting involved with the questions. We'll have a few more throughout, and then a reflection activity at the end that everyone will participate in. We can go on to the next slide, Antonia. Okay, so we have the performance equation that is your performance is your ability times your motivation and your opportunity. And I threw in passion and confidence in there as well, because the overall ability is your knowledge, your skills, and the ability to accomplish a task. You know that you have the ability and those skills to be able to accomplish that task. The motivation is your level of that individual energy for that task. Motivation can be, it can come from incentives for completing that task. It can be intrinsic or extrinsic motivation that you're getting it from. And then your opportunity is having that right performance opportunity to show what you can do as a team member, as an individual, as an employee. So it's important to have that passion and confidence and opportunity to be able to jump in and complete a task. Sometimes it may be asking to be a part of a team that is a new job or a new project that may be a new initiative that your company is doing, and being willing to stand up and join that team and stretch outside of your comfort zone. So it's important to make sure that you're always willing to step up to a task, and then obviously have your motivation, your skills, and have that confidence and passion to know that you're going to be a strong member of that team. Can move on to the next slide, Antonio. Okay, so ability versus motivation. So it's been said that ability is overrated and that a motivational passion translates to high performance. So if you do something you're passionate about, you're going to be successful. So one of the quotes from Lou Holtz, he was a famous football coach for the University of Notre Dame. Ability is what you're capable of doing. Motivation determines what you do, and your attitude determines how well you do it. So it's not just a matter of having the ability to do something. You want to be motivated, and you want to have the right attitude going into those tasks. I know that there are some menial tasks that everyone has to do day to day, that we're just checking those things to do off the to-do list. But keep in mind, when you're doing those regular, normal to-do task, that's impacting your team. It could impact your quarterly goals. It could impact your yearly goals. So doing those menial tasks well each day, not just checking them off to the to-do list, but making sure that you remember your purpose and remember your why as you're doing those daily tasks each day. Encourage your team members, encourage your peers that, we're getting through this grind together, but it's for the overall good of the group and for the overall good of your company. You can move on, Antonio. Thank you. So it's important to motivate others around you by staying positive, being a team player, encouraging growth and feedback, Communicating effectively. Obviously, we're all adults. Some of us work hybrid. We can work from home. We can work in the office. So continue to remember to be communicative and share your expectations with one another. Share positive feedback. Give advice to your teammates, to your peers. Have that positive mindset. And if your team doesn't already, or if your place doesn't already have peer mentors or peer teams, create some of that accountability in the workplace where you can give that solid advice, where you can give meaningful and intentional feedback so that others are striving to reach their goals and to continue to grow within the company. Okay, Antonio. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about some motivational theories here too. So Maslow has the hierarchy of needs, and originally there were the 5 hierarchy of needs, and then it's expanded some to 8 levels of needs. So you've got physiological, safety, social esteem, self-actualization. I'm going to show you a chart with the 5 and the 8 coming up, and then you look at the 2-factor theory with motivating factors. We have higher level of needs and we have lower level of needs from Hertzberg. So it's important to make sure that all levels of needs are being met in order to maintain that positive culture, to know that you're able to achieve your goals, that we all have acquired needs. People are motivated by their need for achievement, power, and affiliation from McLachlan as well. So just want to throw in the motivational theories so you can see, hopefully you're being motivated by some level of one of these theories in your workplace to grow professionally. So looking at how the 5 hierarchy of needs through Maslow relates to the workplace. So paying a wage that's livable, that provides your food and shelter, your basic level of needs. Safety, having good and safe working conditions, feeling comfortable, knowing that you might get salary increases throughout to, meet inflation, job security and fringe benefits, that, making sure that your family is provided for as well. Your social needs, being able to have a good comfort level within the workplace, being able to do company picnics or trips or going to a sporting event together. Esteem needs, making sure that you're hiring the right people at work, you're able to help each other, you're creating opportunities for advancement and achievement. And then the self-actualization needs through in the workplace too, knowing that you're going to be able to grow, that you're going to be able to express your creativity, that you're expected to achieve a certain level of goals and motivation, and that you're going to be able to meet those expectations throughout the workplace. You can go on to the next slide. Okay, so then the 8, it's kind of adapted from those 5 levels to 8. And that shows like the deficiency needs versus the growth needs. So it's just kind of expanded a little bit. We have that social belonging needs thrown in there, along with cognitive, aesthetic needs, and then self-transcendence. Can't say that word at the top, but I just wanted you guys to be able to see that there is now some additional needs thrown in there that shows that it's important that all of your needs are being met within the workplace. Obviously, you want to feel comfortable and accepted in the place that you're working, and that's going to help you achieve your goals individually and as a team. Can go on to the next slide, Antonio. So when you think about the process-based theories, you want to focus on people and how we choose our behaviors to fulfill those needs. So we have an equity. People are motivated when their perceived inputs equal their outputs. And we're going to talk about some incentives that might go along with that. Goal settings, you want to have difficult but achievable goals to motivate you. And then we want people to be motivated when we believe that we can accomplish the task, and the rewards for doing so are worth our efforts. We want to make sure that we're feeling valued, that we're feeling appreciated, that we're feeling heard in our workplace. So everybody wants to make sure that we're being that teammate, and then we're creating that positive workplace culture as well. You can move on, Antonio. So the positive reinforcement theory, we attractive consequences and rewards for desirable performance encourage good behavior. We want to continue to create that positive environment, that positive atmosphere, that positive workplace culture. And that can be within your teammates or higher up, your superiors, and anyone that may be below you as well. Continue. So it can be as simple as saying good job. Like Jay likes to hear that verbal recognition. So just being a positive person in the workplace, asking people how are they doing when you get into the office at the day, good, in the morning when you're pouring your coffee. Good morning. How are you doing today? Do you have any plans for this weekend? Or what did you do this weekend? Just small talk to encourage some more lifelong friendships as well. We know that we spend the majority of our time at work. So we want to continue to build those good relationships and have that good workplace culture. You want to be able to say, okay, positive reinforcement will motivate that person to further rewards, to give his or her best effort the next time too. So how can we do that? So if we're looking throughout all of the theories that we were talking about through a person's through the hierarchy of needs, through motivation, you can see how it all works together within positive reinforcement and creating that positive workplace culture. Can move on to Antonio. So here are some things that we can do to reinforce that positive workplace, providing that for positive verbal praise when someone does something, when they perform that difficult task on time. As you're getting through that really difficult project, you're finishing up that grind. Continue to be a good positive enforcement through that, continuing to be verbally praising that person. Give bonuses when you can. Give those gift cards. Give pay increases when expectations are met, when achievements are going above and beyond what's expected through those quarterly goals, those yearly goals. Give that salary increase. Give a new title if that's warranted. Provide an extra day off with pay. Thank you goes a long way. Smiling in the workplace, to creating a reward system for your employees when they could complete those tasks, those extra projects, potentially promoting them as well. So we can move on to the next slide, Antonio. And then everybody wants to feel a high need for affiliation. So we want to make sure that our team members are feeling like they're valued and appreciated. So tell your teammates they're doing a good job. Thank them when they're completing tasks for you that may need to be done in a certain timely manner, or if they're getting it done ahead of time, be like, you are doing great. Thank you. I appreciate all of the help that you're giving to our team. So the heart of a good sports team is sometimes it's the non-star players, the ones that's just as important as those star players. They're easy to get along with. They take good care of each other and the fans. They're willing to play multiple positions. They're kind of the glue that makes a team. And often employees that are behind the scenes can play those similar team roles. They may not be the star of the company or the shining light, but they're playing just as an important of a role in order to meet those quarterly goals, in order to make sure that we're staying on track for those yearly goals. And they're providing a lot of support day to day in those normal to-do goals, but they are definitely playing a role in creating a positive impact on the overall team. Can continue, Antonio. So incentives, going back to the inputs and the outputs, making sure that you're feeling appreciated. So some different incentives that can be tied to effort, time, production, and team performance. Gift cards, just like today, somebody reading out the team motto, our why, be willing to jump in and do what is needed. So gift cards can go a long way. Meals or snacks, an appreciation lunch have your favorite sweets or treats available for when somebody may need that 2 p.m. pick me up. If you have that Reese's in the office, that's going to help me get through the rest of the day to push through that final 3-4 hours to get things done. Swag and prizes. Being able to wear the company shirt, hats, cups, jackets, swag for when you go to conferences, when you're representing the team, you want to be able to represent the team with pride and be able to have that swag and to look nice for the company and be a positive, be the face of the company when you are the face of the company outside of the company, when you're at those conferences or when you're at meetings, when you're doing presentations, that kind of thing. So, okay, Antonio, we can move on. So goal setting theory proposes that we can set achievable but difficult goals to motivate our employees. The idea behind that is to have behavior and purpose to fulfill the needs. What are our goals? And then helping us rearrange our resources to accomplish those given tasks, to accomplish those goals, those tasks at hand. We can go on to the next one. And these are some questions that, again, I want some people to jump in and answer for me on the next slide. Okay, the next slide that I have some questions for you. So be thinking and be ready to put on those. So again, I'm going back to Lou Holtz, Notre Dame coach. He had described a circular key ring with 3 keys to success: a winning attitude, positive self-esteem, and high goals. So winning attitudes lead to positive self-esteem, which in turn motivates us to set high goals, and turn gives us more positive attitude and self-esteem. So every year, Holtz had players set personal goals, and he had those team set goals in which he kept in a notebook. So how are you setting your goals? This is the next slide. So why is it important to set team goals? You can go on to the next slide, Antonio, so that way we can have the questions in front of us to answer. How are you tracking your goals? Do you set daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly goals? And why is it important to have goals in the workplace? No one volunteers. I'll just start calling on people.
Coming from marketing, being the marketing manager, I'm working closely with Meredith, our chief marketing officer. We track our goals using our KPIs. We have a lot of software, social media platforms, or even just kind of our to-do list that we created using a lot of HubSpot and our Excel to track these KPIs. We do them weekly, monthly, and yearly. So we have beginning of the year, towards the end of the year, we start kind of focusing our 5 and figuring out what goals we need to be get done. And then, and tracking our analytics and tracking our goals, so we can go back and make any adjustments or any kind of improvements we need to do. And it's just improvement to try to benefit Rosewood and all the companies and try to help them grow as much as possible and just kind of improve us as well. So that's the reason we kind of do a little bit of all of it. So
perfect. Thank you for sharing, Antonio.
Yeah, my name's John Doyle. I lead the technology group here. So on the do you set, or how do we set daily, weekly, monthly goals, particularly on the development side? On both ops and development, we meet daily. So we daily stand up. What did we do yesterday? What's hot? Do you need help, blockers, that sort of thing? And then particularly on the development product planning side, we use the agile methodology, and we're set up. We use a monthly cadence. So we have a release plan that lays out, tracks the goals, things that need to be in the release, and then we also take in problems and things that come in after we started the sprint during the month that also have to be added. So we're very much on a daily, weekly, monthly cadence.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing, John. I appreciate it. Again, let me encourage each of you to set those goals and to be motivated by achieving those goals and tasks, because I would like for you to achieve whatever it is that you want to do. So at this time, if you have something to write with, I would propose, if you have a note card, we're going to flip some things over, or a Post-it note or a couple of Post-it notes will be just fine. So on one side of the note card, you are going to write down your dream job, and then flip the note card over or go to the next Post-it note or whatever you are writing on, and then we're going to go through a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 exercise. So if you want to just label it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'll tell you what each one is for. And then kind of give me a thumbs up or reaction if you guys are, once you guys have it labeled, your dream job on one side, and then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, I'm seeing some reactions. Thank you. I like how it kind of pops up with the thumbs up at the bottom. That's really neat. It's a new feature in Teams. Okay. Let's go with our 5. Okay, so for the 5, think about mentors, guides. It could be teachers, coaches, former bosses, people that have had a great influence on your life professionally or personally. For instance, I had a boss. I worked at an amusement park for 7 years, and he, to this day, I still keep in contact with him. I just talked to him on the phone the other day. He saw potential in me. I was a games line employee and got promoted to manager the very next year just because he saw my potential, and it was a fun place to work, and we had a great time. And again, a lifelong friendship that's been there since then. I started that job when I was 16, and I'm almost 40 now. So lifelong friendship right there. Would anyone like to share who some of their mentors or guides have been throughout the process? We'll come back to sharing after we finish the activity. Let's go with 4. So what are some qualities or characteristics that define you as a person? The things that define me are my faith, integrity, influence, and community. Those are kind of the qualities and characteristics that I feel like kind of define me. So these can be your values or your core values. So what are some of those characteristics that kind of drive or define your life? So let's think of 4 of those if you can. I know it's sometimes hard to narrow it down to 4 things that define you as well. Then after our 4 characteristics, let's think about 3 long-term goals that we might have professionally and or personally. So write down 3 long-term goals that you want to accomplish in the next maybe 2 to 5 years, or 1 to 5 years. Anything beyond that, we're gonna do a couple of short-term goals before that for number 2, but 3 long-term goals that you want to accomplish 1 to 2 years, 2 to 5 years, or 5 to 10 years. You know, it can be down the road long-term. Okay, kind of gave you a preview of number 2. 2 short-term goals that you'd like to accomplish in the next month, in the next 3 to 6 months, within the next year. What are some of those maybe 2 short-term goals? And then the last thing on your card, or the number 1 slot, will be, what is a motto, a slogan, or a saying that defines you as a person or as an employee? Okay, let's share some of our goals, or about our mentors, anything that you kind of want to talk about or share about. So let's start with our mentors first. Who are some of our mentors that have kind of guided or influenced our lives, who have had an impact on us?
I'll start by sharing. This is Bryson. I wrote down both my dad and my stepdad for very, very different reasons, and how they kind of approached things. One very businesslike and very deliberate, and the other one very laid back and very go with the flow. And how both of those things, of course, have value and can contribute to a variety of situations, but really recognition of their very different styles and impact they had on me.
Thank you for sharing, Bryson. Sandy, you have your hand up if you want to share.
Good morning. So some of my mentors, well, my first mentors were my parents. You know, I had great parents, loyalty, value, you know, family oriented. And I had some great bosses in my life. I had 2 great bosses, very influential. My first boss when I was 18, when I became a manager at Macy's, she saw that potential in me. So she helped me grow. Gave me that skill to speak in front of people, and just saw so much talent in me. And and to this day also, I still speak to her, and she still gives me some great tips. And I have an extremely amazing boss right now. And I know she's doing some wonderful things and definitely growing me for my future. So I appreciate these mentors in my life.
I thank you so much for sharing. I can relate in a lot of ways, Sandy.
Thank you.
All right. What are some of the characteristics and qualities that define us, that shape us, that are describe us? I know we have some
Loyalty. We got loyalty. We got honesty, integrity, and just having a great attitude overall, everyday life, and just a can-do energy, you know, a can-do attitude. I was always told anything you put your mind to, anything you put your hands on can turn to gold, can be accomplished, and just having a positive attitude. You have to in life and at the job.
Thank you. A few people are dropping them in the chat too. Being curious, reliable, learning focused. I'm loving all of these that you're dropping in the chat. Thank you. Conscientiousness. Yes. Resiliency. That's a good one, Antonio. Yes. Honesty, determination. All right, let's move on to our long-term goals. What are some of our long-term goals that we have here, team?
It's not necessarily professional. Buy a home. I know that'll be difficult in today's climate, but still a goal.
Mm-hmm. It's a fantastic long-term goal right now. Anyone else?
It's always a good goal for me to like become more integrated into the community, to like have more kind of areas within the community that I live in, to kind of be among people and whatnot.
I like that in the chat, to be debt free, more time with family, and live simpler. Like the older we get, the more time is precious for sure. And being able to feel comfortable and have that time. Thank you for sharing. All right, what are a couple of our short-term goals coming up?
5 stars on all our client evaluations.
Great. I'm going for my yoga certification in July, so I'll be gone for 3 weeks to Colombia to get my yoga certification. So that's a short-term goal that I have coming up.
Good for you.
Thank you. Completing your MBA. That's a great goal too, Nicole. I love it. And then number 1, what's some of our sayings, our slogans, our mottos that we're living by?
I put down the only constant in life is change.
You have to be adaptable and flexible. That's for sure. Thank you for sharing, Kellen.
I pulled this from Nike, but I wrote "Just do it." It's a good, strong, small.
Yeah. That's a good one to have. Sometimes my students say that one just because it's like, gotta just get done with it, do the grind, get her done. I like that one too, John. Let it rip. If it's not broke, it can't be fixed. Telling the truth. Work hard, play harder. Love that, Beverly. Something that I just kind of live by right now is running Dr. Kendra, because, you know, I'm trying to run the World Major Marathons. So I'm halfway through. So that's kind of a long-term and short-term goal. So I've done Boston, Chicago, and Tokyo so far, and I still have Berlin, New York City, and London left to do. And I'm hoping by the end of 2025 that I can finish my World Major journey. But the stars have to align literally for that to happen for me. So the purpose of this exercise today was to make you think about your authentic self. Are you bringing your authentic self to the workplace each and every day? Remember your mentors, your guides, your influences that have helped you get to where you're at and where you want to go to that dream job on the back. Those characteristics that define you, make sure that you're staying true and authentic to yourself, that you're staying humble, yet hungry to go after those goals, to achieve those short-term goals, to lead to those long-term goals, to ultimately get to you where you want to go. And to continue to think and show gratitude for the people that have played an impact along your journey throughout. And I thank you so much for allowing me to be with you today. And I hope that you can kind of hold on to this and reevaluate yourself throughout. I've done this exercise multiple times throughout different points of my life, and it's interesting to see now because I'm living out my dream job of being a professor now. And so I am really thankful and excited to continue to grow in my profession too. So thank you for letting me join you today. Does anyone have any questions or comments or concerns from today's Leadership Live?
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
I just want to say I really enjoyed that last exercise because it did force me to kind of dig deep into myself in a way that I wasn't expecting to this morning. So I thought that was good.
Great. Thank you. I'm glad that it helped. And like, I feel like that little exercise, as simple as it is, it does make you kind of self-reflect a little bit deeper. Well, thank you all again for having me. I really appreciate and feel grateful to be a part of the Leadership Live sessions. And so I'll be seeing you later this year.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Hancock. I really do appreciate your time. And thank you, Dr. Ferraro, for setting all this up. Thank you all for wrapping up Q3 or 2 Leadership Live. So your pins will be going out shortly. Like I said, if you guys want to catch up or rewatch any of these, they'll be on YouTube. This one will be uploaded later this afternoon. So I appreciate all the help. Thank you guys for joining. Dr. Hancock, appreciate your time. Thank you for the insightful content. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks.